Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and Avery Superstore.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this third Saturday, which my good friend Frank Barton is sitting in, as he has done for many, many years, from Barton Power Sports and Barton Equipment and Indian Motorcycle over here on Mount Moriah. And we'll talk to Frank as we go throughout the show. But, it's hard to realize. We're hoping the weather is breaking this weekend. Since I got back from Montana, I've had a real difficult time adjusting to the hottest temperatures of the year in September. Right, Frank? It is unbelievable. And to think, I've got a new muzzle loader. I'm ready for the season, and it's coming up here. October the 28th is the muzzleloader archery season through November the 8th. And, of course, who better to talk to about what's going on at the TWRA than our own good friend Amy Snider-Spencer. She's the Region 1 Outreach and Communications. Good morning, Amy.
Hey, good morning. But I do want to remind everybody, next Saturday is archery season.
Yes, it is.
So that's statewide. So before we get to muzzleloader, we got to remind everybody, if it cools off,
yes.
We can get out there and we can bow hunt. And I agree with you. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day about 18 days, 19 days of September had been all like 95 was the average.
And no rain.
Crazy.
And no rain, which is when we get to the woods, particularly you bow hunters, come the September the 28th through October the 25th, it could be dry. So you're going to have to be really careful. And I guarantee the TWRA before this season will put out notices about being careful with campfires and things along that, because I don't remember it being this long without rain as we get to this time. But let's talk, Amy, about as we get ready for the season. Of course, everybody needs to have, if you don't have it by now, you need your Tennessee hunting and trapping guide for 2019 and 2020, particularly as we deal with the new unit, the CWD unit. And I know... And
I actually stress to everyone to please refer to our web page for the most up-to-date information, because since the hunting guide was printed, we have now had a new county that has tested positive for CWD.
Tell them.
So Tipton County is now included as a positive for CWD, and that does change things, especially if you hunt in Tipton County and you're going to move a deer from that area. And we advise everyone to make sure that you go to page 34 of the hunting guide if you have one at your house, or you can go online and look at those rules and regulations on transporting a deer before you move it.
And that's CWDNTN, capital TN.com. You can go to that. That's what I go to, and I'm looking
Or you could go to tnwildlife.org, and on that opening page, you'll see it right there. You can click on it, and you can actually sign up for CWD email updates, and we'll send you an email when things have changed. But the most up-to-date and recent information will be found on our website, because we can't go back and print all these hunting guides, and we're probably going to have more changes as the season goes on.
No, there were a few fixes anyway to begin with. So
yes.
I saw those, and that's being in the former newspaper business, I know those things happen, but the information is what really is impressive to me in the hunting guide, and I found it very good that they didn't put a deer on the front; they put an elk. So I mean that's good. I was afraid they might put a CWD deer on the front page of the magazine.
Well, that's something I would like to talk about, Larry. The deer in Tipton County. The number one question we get is, show me a CWD deer.
Uh-huh.
Well, the deer in Tipton County was a deer that came to someone's yard that was sick. It was a 3.5-year-old buck. The landowner called TWRA. I have a sick deer. We sent someone out. The deer was euthanized and tested, and that deer came back, CWD confirmed. So there is your sick deer that has showed up in someone's yard, because we constantly get that. People, it's a deer hunter killing it, or it was killed by car. No, this one showed up in someone's yard.
And they had the wherewithal to contact y'all.
And we actually want people to, you can report sick deer on our website now. We're working on an app. Hopefully that will be out soon that you can just, put in the information and we'll get someone out there. Or you can always just, if you know the officer, call the officer. If you don't, call the office. We'll get someone out there just like we did in this case. And we actually have had a couple more come in this week to our Jackson office that Jeremy Denison, our biologist, has gone out and got those deer and sent them off for sampling.
Well, it just, it's every, rumors fly, social media, there's so many things out there. I'm not going to hunt. I don't want to hunt. I can't find a processor. I don't know what I'm going to do. All these different kind of questions. And yet at the same time, that'd be the worst thing to do. I mean,
correct.
The not hunting is not going to help anybody, and it's really going to hurt. It's going to hurt the mom and pop operations. It's going to hurt everybody involved, and it's also going to be a detriment to my love of deer hunting. And I think that you have that passion too, you and your husband Bubba, and I know that folks don't just hang in there. What we're asking is be patient. I mean,
yes.
And let the people who know what they're doing do their jobs. And I think,
we have really liberated the CWD unit. As you and I were discussing earlier, we're actually moving the muzzleloader opening day up, and that's going to open on Monday, October 28th. The gun season opening day actually moves up, and it's going to open on November 9th. So there's going to be more opportunity for the hunter to get out there and harvest the deer.
Well, that's what we want them to do, and I know, I know it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to find a processor. I have to admit that, Amy. There are some that
it is
that just not going to do it. But I think a lot of people now. I've been reading up on how to process my own deer. A lot of people are doing those kind of things. But well, let's talk about what else we got going on here, because the squirrel season's been going on. We've got that. We've had the early wood duck and the teal season. That's been part of what's happening here. But all the
and we've had a hot dove season.
We have had a hot dove season. I've heard that from many people. But really, you need to know what's happening this year, folks. And I know the only way you're going to learn that is to go to to your guide, check with the TWRA. But you folks have been busy. You just told me before we came on the air about a bald eagle. Tell me about that.
Yeah, actually,
that was on Thursday. That was on Thursday.
Yeah, that was on Thursday.
What happened?
I was actually doing a radio show with Bolivar,
and
my husband's the Hardin County game warden, and he called, and what time are you going to get done? I've got an eagle trapped on the river, and I'm like, what? And he said, sure. He said the landowner just called. There's an eagle caught in the limb line. And I'm going to go down and see if I can get it. So as soon as I got off the radio show, we went down, and I actually got footage of him wading in the water up to about waist deep. Eagle broke loose and flew away. Everything was a happy ending, but that's not your everyday call in the life of a game warden. But,
no, it isn't.
Sometimes you get those calls.
And you do that, and it had a happy ending just because everybody thinks, game wardens work 8 to 5. But no, this is not. You know that for a fact. Being the
I know that for a fact, and that's the one thing here now that I'm out of the game warden work and do this. I still understand when he says I got to go to a call. Yeah, I know. Go ahead, see ya.
Well, I know there's so much going on, and folks, you need to tnwildlife.org is my go-to place to do that. Amy, anything else I need to know before I let you go, girl?
No, just remember, you can earn some extra bucks in that CWD unit. So
that's right.
You can go to Hunting Guide. You can read it on the internet, find out how to do that, and we want to encourage everybody to get out there and let's kill some deer.
That's it. Thank you, Amy. We'll talk to you then next month, okay? Thank you.
All right.
All right. Amy Snider-Spencer, it's going to be different. You try to stay update, but I know my man, Scott Stingle, Stingle Brothers, no more. They're not going to do it this year. And so we'll try to find out next week. We're going to talk about the Hunters for the Hungry program and the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. We're going to talk to Mike Butler and Matt Semcock, and we're going to find out where can you get your deer processed. I mean, because there's a lot of them that don't want to mess with it.
It's the problem is starting, it's the trickle-down effect, and you're starting to understand hey, I've always hunted this place, and what do you mean I can't take my deer back home?
Nope, you can't do that.
And while we don't have any cases over in Arkansas, where I'm from, and at least in Crittenden County.
Yes, yeah.
The fact is, it's in Shelby County.
It's in Shelby County. It's pretty close.
And it's pretty doggone close. It's only a little bit of water separating the two of us.
A little bit of water.
And
yeah.
And I know that deer swim. I know that deer swim that river.
And
unfortunately, I'm worried that it's just going to be a matter of time.
I think so too, Frank. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's take a break. Come right back, and we're hoping this is going to be my segment I've been looking forward to. Jack Combs. And I'm going to let Frank introduce Jack because they're longtime friends, and we're going to talk about the 2019 Master Nationals. I have the 18,000-page book here. No, it looks like that Frank and his wife Lynn put together every year, and they're getting ready to head over to Sherrill, South Carolina for the 2019 Master Nationals, and I think he's going to leave on the 10th, but the event itself is the 17th through the 29th, and 1,019 dogs. Wow. They all get my vote. They ran for office. All right? We'll be right back. Outdoors with Larry Ray.